I'm going to talk to you today about how to make a cloth face mask with a little elastic sides that fit over your ears. This is a pattern that we received from Vanderbilt Medical Center. It's the specification and the size that they've requested. We know that there are many different styles out there, but this will be a good one for those of you that might be new to sewing or new to your machines, but really want to find a way to help. It's a very simple project. So we're going to start today and tell you how to do that. To get started, you need to be using 100% cotton fabric. That's a tight woven fabric. Typically, you hear the term quilting cotton. That's what is working really well. The good news about using cotton, 100% cotton, is that you can actually tear this fabric and it'll tear perfectly on the grain. That's important because as we're getting and sewing these, we want to be moving pretty quickly. And so we're going to show you how simple it is to tear. So we are going to be measuring over 9 inches, and you just clip and you take it and you tear. You need 2 pieces of 9 by 6 inch cotton woven fabric. You need 2 pieces of 7 inch long pieces of elastic. This is 1/4 inch elastic. You could also use an 1/8 of an inch elastic. They typically come in braided or woven, and as we understand it, any and all is good. It's really hard right now to get our hands on elastic, but for this purpose we're using a 1/4 inch. You need some straight pins and a good pair of scissors. That's all you need. To get started, you are going to take your elastic and you're going to line it up 1/4 of an inch away from this edge right here, and you're going to take the other end and put it 1/4 of an inch against that edge. This is on our 6 inch long side of our rectangle. You're going to do this elastic on both sides. Then our fabric, our typical printed fabric, has a front and a back, a right and a wrong side. You are going to put your right sides together of your fabric, and you are going to go around and you are going to pin these 2 rectangles together. It's important when you pin, you're going to leave one of your 9 inch ends. You're going to leave about 2 inches. We're going to stitch from here all the way around, and we're going to leave a 2 inch wide opening. We are now going to go to our sewing machine and we are going to stitch all the way around, leaving that 2 inch opening that I talked about here. So you're going to start and typically on this edge of your presser foot, you might have a different feet that you use for your machine, but typically that's where you can measure a 1/4 inch seam. This is not exact sewing, but that is a pretty good measure. You're going to stitch a straight stitch, always back stitch that locks those stitches together. My machine actually can stitch, and when it ends, it will end with the needle down position so that I can lift my presser foot and turn a corner very cleanly. So we're coming across where we're going to catch the elastic as we stitch that corner. And you just straight stitch, keeping your fabric lined up here as you go. Again, getting to the corner and leaving your needle in and turning around. Now that we've sewn all the way around, you are going to take and turn this right side out. And you'll just take special care at the corners to kind of pull those corners taut. If you want to, you could put something in those corners to kind of turn them tightly. But again, with this kind of sewing, we're really just trying to get quantity sewn. So the perfection is not as critical. All right, let's go back over to our cutting board now. We need to measure in some pleats. Now that you've sewn all the way around, except for your opening, and you've turned it right side out and we've pulled it straight, now you want to lay that out flat, and you can actually do, you just kind of want to, you can finger press these together. You can certainly get an iron out, but you can do that with your fingers. The next thing we need to do is to put in our pleats. So you're going to take up the first pleat, and you're going to push your fingers all the way across. You could measure these, but again, this is not exact sewing. So just so long as you pull that forward and that you've got about an inch here, and that all three of your pleats go in the same direction, that is what's important for these masks. So you're going to pin that one here. Then you're going to pull up your second pleat. Again, going in the same direction. And then you pull up your third and final pleat. Oops. Put a pin here and put a pin on this side. Now we will go back over to our sewing machine, and we will stitch all the way around. We will be catching this opening when we stitch that part together, and we will be stitching across here, and that will help those pleats stay in place. Now we're going to stitch all the way around. We're going to be catching the little hole that we left open. Again, you put it underneath your foot, and this time you're going to come on the inside of your foot to really kind of get a scant 1/4 inch. We're going to trim these excess threads. And now you have a face mask.